My name is Danielle Ridgway, and I will be talking to you about the Blue Sky Project and the way that Hudson should respond to the director. What mistakes Hudson made, and what are some lessons to be learned from this case? Management versus leadership. A manager has basic knowledge, and their objective is to bring about order and stability to the project. They complete the work to get the project back on track. A manager is about coping with complexity, while leadership is about coping with change. A leader enhances the basic knowledge that a manager has. A leader takes initiative and goes the extra mile. A leader sets an example and motivates staff as they lead in the work that needs to be done. Good management brings about order and stability by formulating plans and objectives, designing structures and procedures, monitoring results against plans, and taking corrective action when necessary. Leadership involves recognizing and articulating the need to significantly alter the direction and operation of the project, aligning people to the new direction, and motivating them to work together to overcome hurdles produced by the change and realize new objectives. Leadership is very desired in any project, but leadership is not necessary to complete a project. It appears that Hudson was not acting as a leader in this project. He was more so acting as a manager in this project. One of the mistakes that Hudson did make was that he did not utilize his influence as exchange. Johnson consistently used tax-related currencies as an exchange with his influence. This form of influence comes directly from the project manager's ability to contribute to others accomplishing their work. It's probably the most significant form of this courtesy is the ability to respond to subordinates' requests for additional manpower, money, or time to complete a segment of a project. This kind of currency is also evident in sharing resources with another project manager who is in need. At a more personal level, it may simply mean providing direct assistance to a colleague in solving a technical problem. Johnson ensured that he did that for Hudson. Johnson showed his supervisors and the stakeholders and the sponsors that he was willing to do what was necessary to ensure that this project was successful. Hudson was not like Johnson. Hudson did not use his influence as an exchange. Hudson failed adequately to communicate with his team, and Hudson allowed his jealousy to make a decision that ultimately cost his job. Hudson did not communicate with Johnson as Johnson was requiring information to find out what would happen with his position after they start this new Blue Sky project. Hudson assumed that his plans were going to alleviate Johnson's position and maintain Hudson's position. Hudson's selfishness ultimately made him lose his position. Johnson understood the importance of relationships, and Johnson was giving and did not operate in vengeance. Johnson communicated with his colleagues as Hudson stayed in his office and used other resources to communicate with his colleagues. Communication and relationships are very important in order to for the success of a project. A project manager's most powerful leadership tool is their own behavior. A project manager's behavior symbolizes how people should work on a project. Through their behavior, a project manager can influence how others act and respond to a variety of issues related to the project. Priorities are very important. It shows the subordinates and others how important the project is and how they should spend their time regarding the project. Hudson's priorities did not appear to be accurate. He seemed to prioritize more so paperwork and not actually researching what he needs to do for them to have a successful project. Urgency, he did not appear to have urgency when it concerned this project. It seemed that Johnson had more urgency. Although Hudson stayed over at times to try to make sure that the project was okay, it seems like Johnson had a more sense of urgency regarding this project. Problem solving, Johnson was very good at problem solving when it concerns this project. He volunteered himself when there were issues with the training so that the people can understand the cloud program more adequately. And they also provided him with two people to assist him with this training. It does not appear that Hudson was very involved in this training. Johnson was cooperative. He seemed very open-minded when it concerned this project. Hudson did not like outside influences with any project because it seemed that he felt that this would negate any kind of work that he did. He looked at other people as competition and not people as his teammates. His standard of performance, he did respond quickly when it concerned the problem solving, but it just did not appear to be very effective. It seems that Johnson was more effective when it concerned that. And Hudson's ethics, he just did not provide the information that was needed to Johnson because he was too afraid of the competition. He also seemed to have hidden information because he knew that the cloud company that he chose was not the most adequate company for the project. The book quotes that conversely, trust is the lubricant that maintains smooth and efficient interactions. Hudson's character, he was very consistent when it concerned staying in his office, getting his paperwork done, but he was not consistent when it concerned relationships. He was not very open when it concerned relationships. Character focuses on personal motives, while competence focuses on skills necessary to realize motives. And his personal motives did not appear to be very well intentioned. One of the distinguishing traits of character is consistency. When people are guided by their core set of principles, they are naturally more predictable because their actions are consistent with their principles. He has shown that his principles are to be more so of an introvert. It doesn't make him a bad person, but it ultimately cost his job because he did not have an openness to everyone else. Managers with character are driven not only by personal ambition, but also for the common good. It did not seem that Hudson had character. He wasn't thinking about the ultimate common good of the project. And the manager with character's primary concern is what is best for their organization and the project, not what is best for themselves. Hudson appeared to be competent when it concerned knowing the values, knowing the skill set that he needs, but his character was not good enough for the project. He did not have all of the competencies. He didn't listen effectively. He did not communicate clearly, and he did not resolve arguments or provide encouragement. It appears that Johnson was the best person for the job. I don't think that Hudson can give a very good argument when it concerns him keeping his job. He could tell the director that initially it was his idea to do the cloud project, but the director already knows that Hudson was not a team player. I'm sure Johnson was sticking out because Johnson decided to conduct the training. Maybe Hudson could have assisted Johnson with the training instead of hiding out in his office. Hopefully, Hudson's skill set will increase when it concerns communicating with people and having more of an open mindset. He may have been logically and business oriented. He may have had what he needed concerning concerning general business perspective, and he just did not have that skillful politician type of skill set. He did not communicate with people or talk to people or just show people that he can be an optimist when it concerns the project. This concludes my presentation. Have a great day.